Hi guys, welcome back to Stonehouse Gems. My name's Wendy Higgins, and today I'm going to teach you part of one of the pieces that I've made for a kit that I have to make makeup. Okay, so this is the original piece, and this will be attached to some of the bare copper sheet that I have. It's a simple beaded technique, but using the wire that I have in the kit. It uses 4 different sizes of beads. This particular one, I believe, is a 12mm, a 10mm, 8mm, and I've used the 4mm in beads for this particular one. But as I've already done that, I also made a earring to go with this particular suite of jewellery. So I'm going to use the smaller one because I need to make another one to match this. Same difference, it's just that I've used 4 different sizes of beads, but the smaller of beads in the kit. So I've used an 8mm, a 6mm, a 4mm, and the 2mm on this particular one. Okay, so all you need to for this kit to actually do this is your beads. So I have the 2mm, the 4mm, the 6mm, and the 8mm. I only need one of these, it's just for the centre. Okay, and the other thing you need is some of the 0.4 wire that's in this particular kit. But any 0.4 wire will do, and any seed beads in those sizes will work for this particular piece. Okay, so the first thing I did was I took the larger bead, the I think it's an 8mm, popped it onto the 0.4 and bring it up a fair distance to your wire. Okay. Oh no, sorry, tell a lie. First of all, I threaded on 7 of the 0.8 beads onto my wire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, once you have your 7 beads on, bring this up to, I'd say, give yourself a good 12-13 inches on at the tail. Alright, and then with the tail end, bring your tail end around and thread this back through. So you're just threading back where your wire's exiting this way. You're taking your left hand side wire and you're threading it back through all 7 of these beads. 1, and I find it easier to push the beads, hold the 2 wires together and actually just push these beads on, like so. It just works out easier with me. Usually you'd be using beading thread, but I have to use the kit, so this is done with wire, so it's a slightly different technique. Push your bead on, and then your last one. So you've formed a circle with your wire. Okay, then take the end that you've just threaded through and the end that is exiting on your right, and just pull. Now, because this is wire, it won't form a circle as easily as if you were using beading thread because of the nature of the wire. So when you get to this section, what you need to do is you need to form your circle and then pull your wires with a pair of pliers. Just hold onto your wire, hold your beads in that circle and just pull. Okay, it does take a little bit of fiddling because it's wire and it is a little bit more difficult to work with than beading thread, but keep pulling. Pull these wires into and form a circle like so. Okay, now if it won't go any further, that's not a problem. Again, because it's wire, what you can do is bring this around to form your circle, like so, and then just twist this piece of wire, because, again, because it's not beading thread, it will hold. Then all you need to do is just crimp slightly and tuck that little knot in. Okay, that's going to be covered by the larger beads, which we're going to thread on now. So take your smaller tail, take your larger bead of the 4 that you have and thread it onto the smaller tail. Then push this bead into the center of your work, bring your tail around and over the top of your opposite side of your ring, bring it underneath, and then just thread it back through, like so. Link that onto the outer ring, the wire on the outer ring that you've done. Okay, so you should end up at this point with a little flower, which is quite pretty in itself, and you can make lots of designs with this particular technique. Okay, but for this one, what I'm going to do now, I've got my longer end coming out towards my right because I'm right-handed. And what we're going to now do, I'll just bring this one in for so you can have a look. We've got this inner circle and this outer one. We're now going to thread on these smaller 0.4 beads into the gaps to fill in the small gaps around this area here. So take one of your 0.4, these might be, yeah, no, they are 0.4. Make sure your wire is straight. Pop on the bead, bring it down to the base near your flower, oops, like so, and fit it into that gap. Then you want to bring this wire. You would normally thread through this bead here, but because they're smaller and they are the wires are 0.4, it won't actually go through this very easily. So what I did is I took the end of the wire, and again I threaded the wire up through the circle of beads, pulled the wire in. Oh, be careful of your kinks. If it does kink, move it back around. Don't try and straighten it. All you need to do is go back in the direction that the wire was in. Okay, and then straighten. Otherwise it'll compromise the strength of your wire. Okay, so once you're at this section, you pull your wire up, and again place your bead in the section and pull. Okay, now it's going to the back of the work because of the way your wire was pulled through. So if you take the end of your wire and just where you've just wrapped through, see the little loop at the back there, push your wire back through and to the back, like so. Okay, and that will it'll help to keep that bead in place. So your wire's now at the back. You come along to your next section, just here, in between these two beads here. Bring your wire, I'm actually working wire quite long. Bring your wire back up through this intersection just here. Okay, like that. And then pull it back through. So you're bringing it back through the center of this loop. Okay, thread on your bead. Okay, thread on one of your beads again, and pull. Just being very careful not to form the kinks in this wire. It will naturally want to go back into the circle that it was originally in. So just hold your bead and pull. Place it back into the... Now, I've got a little kink there. It's because, now, as you can see, if I don't think you can quite see it, yeah, it's just kinked there. So move the wire back around follow the wire's path and then straighten it. Okay, bring your bead down, put it into place, and then bring it back up through. Okay, and you continue on with this right the way around your piece, placing your sections, placing your beads into those little sections as you would with when you're doing beading work. Okay, but slightly different because you're wrapping around the wire because it won't go through. It doesn't quite want to go through these beads. Okay, so you continue on with this. I'm going to pause this video and just continue on. And I'll come back for the next section.